If you're a high-performing, ambitious, and driven type of person, and you can't seem to turn your brain off at night, even when you're exhausted, this video is exactly what you've been missing. I used to have chronic insomnia and live in a constant state of stress and overwhelm, but I've reprogrammed that pattern completely, and now I sleep great and I move through my life with so much more ease. And I'm gonna let you in on something that most people don't realize. Your insomnia might not be about sleep at all. It might instead be a sign that you're burnt out, trying to control too much about your life, and running your nervous system in overdrive for way too long. Let me describe a familiar pattern that I see in so many of my clients that I can also personally relate to because this used to be me. You're busy all day long checking off to-do lists. You work hard, you care deeply, and you keep pushing through even when you're tired. You're always thinking about how to be better, how to do more, how to fix something. Maybe you're even successful on the outside, but on the inside you feel anxious, restless, or on edge. And then at night, your body is exhausted, but your brain is still wired. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when your nervous system has been in a state of high alert, what I kind of call functional burnout, but it doesn't stay functional forever. It gets to a point where it's no longer functional, and the sleep issues are your wake-up call to that. You can look fine on the outside, but still be deeply dysregulated on the inside. Now, here's the part that really traps high achievers. Once sleep becomes a struggle, your brain does what it always does. It tries to solve it. And here's the trap. The more you try to perfect your sleep, the worse it gets. Because when your brain is obsessing over sleep, it's still in fixing mode, not rest mode. That pressure and anxiety around sleep becomes its own source of stress, and that keeps your nervous system stuck in the same wired state that you're trying to escape. You start researching melatonin, blue light blocking glasses, supplements, sleep trackers, magnesium. You follow all the rules to try to optimize your sleep down to the minute. But the truth is, the more you obsess over sleep, the harder it gets to actually sleep. This is something I see all the time in the high-performing perfectionist type clients. And this used to be my own personality. I used to be super type A. And that's what's happening is they're trying to perfect their sleep. But sleep doesn't respond to control. It responds to actually a release of control, a letting go, a surrendering, because this implies a sense of safety to your brain. And once your brain feels safe to relax, it will let you drift off to sleep. So when you're pretending to be a superhuman, getting a zillion things done during the day, or worrying about everyone else in your life, trying to solve all their problems on top of your own problems, then you're wired at night because you were just overstimulated all day long. And then you're also judging yourself for not sleeping. So it just adds more pressure to something that actually requires you to let go and surrender. If your nervous system has been in overdrive for months or even years, your brain has simply learned to stay alert. It's its default state. But the good news is it can unlearn that. But it's not about finding the perfect bedtime routine or the perfect sleep supplement blend. It's about helping your nervous system feel safe to slow down. How do you slow down? Well, first, you start catching yourself when you're overdoing it. You got to be honest with yourself here because you haven't been thinking that you've been overdoing it all this time. So what do you actually have the capacity for? Catch yourself when you're trying to get just one more thing done. To help with this, it also helps if you can also start taking life less seriously. Not everything is important. Most things actually aren't. If you need to, pretend that all of a sudden you transformed from being a type A person to a type B person. So just play along with me right now. What would it feel like to all of a sudden be more laid back, relaxed, go with the flow, patient? Do you notice how you're already feeling a little bit lighter just considering that possibility? The fact that you can even draw up those feelings and imagine it means that that way of living is actually possible for you. What would type B me do in this situation? Well, you'd let go of the need to be productive 24/7. If you're waking up in the morning, jumping into your day, being the Energizer Bunny all day long, and then also maximizing your evenings after you get done working, your brain is getting the signal that you're practically being chased by a bear nonstop. And you're doing that to yourself. And you can also stop doing that. And the first step is to catch yourself and realize that it's not important or that serious, all of these things that you have on your to-do list you're trying to get done all day. Another thing to speed this along is to start reconnecting with things that bring you joy just for the hell of it. Things that have nothing to do with being productive or accomplishing anything. For example, what types of things did you enjoy doing as a kid? Did you love reading a certain genre of book? Did you play a sport? Did you play board games, sing, dance, art? I don't know. Pick one thing to reconnect with, because this is something that your heart, your soul needs to feel fulfilled. This refocusing your attention on feeling joy in your life. And the feeling of joy is the opposite of what you would feel if you were being chased by a bear, which is what your nervous system has been interpreting probably for a while now. I know insomnia can feel like it's going to last forever, but many of my clients start sleeping better so much faster than they expected once they start doing this. Once you stop trying to fight sleep and you start retraining your brain and your body to feel safe in the present moment, the shift often happens very quickly. I'll pop a few screenshots here from real clients who said they started sleeping better once they started following this process. It's not magic. It's actually the science of how your nervous system works. And you have so much control over shifting this. This is what I teach in even more detail inside my free masterclass, where I walk you through how to retrain your brain and nervous system to sleep naturally again without any sleep aids or endless supplements. If this video resonated with you, then you're going to love this masterclass. So go watch that next. You'll find the link in the description below. I want you to also remember, you're not broken. Your sleep also isn't broken. Your brain has just been stuck in survival mode, and you're learning how to show your brain that not everything is so important or so serious. It's okay to take the pressure off yourself. Do you recognize this pattern in yourself? Always pushing, always performing, and now you're trying to fix your sleep in the same way. Let me know in the comments if you've ever fallen into this trap of trying to control your sleep, and if this helped you see the connection to how you've been operating during the day and why you haven't been sleeping at night. I'd love to hear your story, and your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to feel less alone. You still have the natural ability to sleep, and you are so much more powerful than you think.